Right, let's talk then about Tottenham. Let's talk about the North London derby. But first of all, let's talk about Xavi Simons. And first of all, Dors, let's talk about that six-pack we saw a flash of. Clinton missed it. He was looking elsewhere. Was he be straight in on this one? Is it still there?
It's most definitely still not there. That was a long time ago, Simon. Yeah. No, some great memories.
No, he's still in good shape.
It was great to go and interview. You know, it's not been an easy start for him. Big sign in the summer from RB Leipzig. You know, he probably hasn't hit the ground running. And I think we've got to give people time when they move countries. He's been away on 3 international breaks. He said yesterday he just settled into a new house. I think his best game was certainly in the Champions League against Copenhagen. And there's been glimpses where I've watched him and thought, this boy's a special talent. But you look at his numbers, he's only got 1 assist. But what he can bring, it was interesting, I asked him yesterday, where would he rather play, out wide or in the 10 position? And his favourite position was a 10. But I think we've seen him drift in different formations that Thomas Frank likes to play. But I think give him time. We certainly haven't seen the best. And I think he knows that. His numbers have to be better. But I think all across Tottenham, it's still early on in people's tenure. Thomas Frank coming in, obviously Simmons coming in, Palhinha's coming in the summer. You've got to remember there's no Solanke, no James Maddison, no Kulusevski. So the big players at the top end of the field.
Which puts a lot on his shoulders as well, doesn't it?
There is, and he's only 22. And I think that's what sometimes we forget. We look at Wirtz coming in from Germany, and I ask him the speed of the Premier League compared to Germany. He wasn't like shocked by the speed of the Premier League, but I don't think it's no coincidence that we've seen the players are playing better in the Champions League than they are in the Premier League. But yeah, I enjoyed meeting him for the first time, and it was a chance for him to get used to the community in Tottenham. But I wish him luck, because it is, when you pay 51 million, you expect probably more than what he's showing at this moment in time.
And Tim, coming back to Xavi Simons, when you look at his last 3 seasons before he arrived at Spurs for PSV Eindhoven and also for RB Leipzig as well, you can understand why the expectations were so high, because you've got 91 games played, 37 goals, 26 assists and 63 goal involvements so far this season at Tottenham in 11 Premier League games. You have to go back to the West Ham game for his only assist so far. Where is he best deployed for you? You talked in that interview with Dawson Ledley King about either being on the left or playing that number 10 role. For Thomas Frank to get the very best out of him as he continues to adjust to the Premier League, where is he best for you?
Playing where he wants to play. He wants to play as a number 10. Thomas Frank don't play as a number 10. So he must have told him when he was coming to sign, Xavi Simons shouldn't have come. You know, if he said, I'm going to play you off the left, but you can drift, or play you off the right and you can drift into central areas, then fine. Then he's got absolutely no excuse. He's got to deliver when he gets on the ball, and he's got to show a lot more than what he's shown. I think there's a lot of onus on him, like you said, the reputation. But Dawes is absolutely right. It's difficult to adjust to a different country and to adjust to the Premier League. It does take time. And it normally takes time, and the time becomes easier if you've got better players around you. You know, you're feeding him the ball. The fans like him. You know, he got booed when he brought him off against Manchester United last week, or before the international break. But that's for a reason, because they're starved of any creativity within the rest of the team. And we're saying that Tottenham are doing well in the Premier League, but at home they're not doing very well. So this game on Sunday is all about making heroes, and there's a chance for him to be an instant hero. You can score against Arsenal and get a positive result, then automatically you get elevated into that hero status. And they've got an opportunity to be able to do that. He's got the ability, of course he has, but they're all very similar in his position. Odegaard, Tell, Kudos. Kudos has done all right, but they're very, very similar. So I don't think Tottenham have got the balance right, and certainly haven't got their recruitment right.
Let's go back to Tottenham and let's push things on, Clinton, to that North London derby tomorrow, the 198th between the two sides. And going into this game, what kind of shape are Tottenham in? Because at home, it's been frustrating. It's been difficult at times, hugely frustrating for the fans. But away from home, a somewhat different story. We've seen them go to the likes of Man City and wins. So in some ways, where they're at under Thomas Frank so far, is it better for them than it is at Arsenal tomorrow?
Yeah, definitely better. Everyone makes Arsenal favourites tomorrow. There's no pressure on Tottenham, and they've been better away from home than they have been at home.
Why is that?
But that's the million-dollar question. Is there more pressure to perform in front of the home fans than there is the away fans? I don't know, because it's a strange one, because you're looking at it and you're thinking to yourself, how are they not getting these results? Usually it's easier to go away from... It is. Now, that is why it's easier to go away from home. We were speaking about it earlier, in front of 5,000 fans, where you've got 60,000 fans all baying for you not playing the right way. Because you know what Tim will tell you, the way Tottenham want to play, all those Tottenham fans want to be entertained. They don't want the Thomas Frank style of football. They want to be entertained. It is going to be a difficult game against Arsenal. It's going to be a really difficult game, but you just never know. If Tottenham go there with a game plan and try and play on the counter-attack or cause problems from set pieces, they have half a chance.
Let's just try and wrap up the North London derby from a Tottenham point of view. Back to you, Dawes. Just in terms of... Listen, there's always pressure for both sides that goes with a derby of this nature, but were City later to win at Newcastle United in the Saturday night football, that narrows the gap to 1 point ahead of this game. That starts to ratchet up the pressure, even though it's only going to be 12 games in come the end of the weekend on the host tomorrow, doesn't it?
There is huge pressure on this game. Bragging rights, playing in it many times, and, you know, on the right side a few times, on the other side hard. It really, really is. And I always looked at Arsenal, and we talked about how good they've been recruiting in this summer. And, you know, when they got top of the Premier League, they go away to Sunderland and they concede a last-minute equaliser. And you say, how are they going to respond to that? Because Liverpool have fallen off. Manchester City are the team chasing you. And that is probably the last thing that Arsenal want so early on in the Premier League. I mean, there's a long, long way to go. But, yeah, as you say, if Manchester City beat Newcastle tonight, and then tomorrow, all form goes out the window. I mean, it's been a long time since Spurs have won at the Emirates. Let's not kid ourselves.
1 in 32.
Yeah, a long time.
2010, wasn't it, the last one?
I think it was, yeah. Yunus Kabul was latter. So it must be about time that they turn up and change that. And I think for Arsenal, losing, for me, one of their most influential players in Gabriel, in a North London derby, the fight, aggression that he shows week in, week out, defending the box, both boxes incredible. He will be a huge miss.
Dawes, handbrake that one, because we're going to come on to him.
OK.
Keep your powder dry.
Well, I was just going to go into Spurs. This has to be a massive opportunity for Spurs to go, right, here we go, we're away from home. Our away form has been better than the home form. Let the handbrakes off. Let's take the game to Arsenal. I think the first 20 minutes will be very, very cautious. It has to be. The home side will dominate possession, and then let's see how the game opens up and can we hit them on the counter-attack.
Nice.
I don't expect Spurs to come out guns blazing. No way.
Two handbrake references in the space of a minute.
There you go.
Because
you pulled it on and I had to let it off again.
So, eventually, you've heard pretty much the Spurs side of the story. After the break, as promised, we will, of course, move our attentions to Arsenal. Right, let's focus now on the red half of the North London derby tomorrow, which you can, of course, see in the second part of Super Sunday. And Tim, let's talk about how Arsenal went into the international break, because that 10-game winning run came to an end late on at the hands of Sunderland at the Stadium of Light. The first goals they've conceded in some 9 games. They've been on an incredible run. For you, anything more than a minor setback for the Gunners?
Yeah, if they lose tomorrow. I mean, this is a doubt in their mind now. No one scored against them. I mean, you know, it was very difficult to score against them. To drop points and just keep that ball alive all of the time and not finish your attack until it's finished, you know, and the second ball. You can't win the first one, win the second one. I don't think Arsenal played bad. I just think Sunderland, you have to give them credit, they just stuck at it. But this is a huge game of football tomorrow. A huge game of football. It's not just about this North London derby. Everyone knows, Dawes knows especially how emotional this game is for the fans, but it can sway both seasons for both clubs. If Tottenham could have liftoff if they beat Arsenal at the Emirates, and it can have the adverse effect for Arsenal. They've dropped points at Sunderland. Everyone expected them to win. The expectancy is there. They're going to run away with it. They've got the balance in their squad now. They've lost Gabriel. It's a huge blow. Dawes touched on it earlier for that, I think.
Right, let's come back to talking about Arsenal. Let's talk in more detail about Gabriel, because Tim's mentioned it, Dawes before that as well. He's going to be out for several weeks after picking up a thigh injury on international duty for Brazil. And let's just underline his huge influence on this Arsenal side in terms of what they do when he's in the side and what tends to happen when he isn't. 26 games with, 9 without, and in those 9, they've won just 3. And look at how much that win percentage drops down by without him. It drops down to 33.3%, and the points per game goes down to 1.6. So I guess the question is, Clinton, and they've got some key players missing so far this season, and so far they've been able to absorb the losses, the likes of Odegaard. But in terms of what he brings to this team, not just in terms of defending, but that presence as well, is absence perhaps going to be the most keenly felt of all?
Yeah, this would be the biggest blow. For me, he's been their best player this season, and we can talk about Saka. I think he's fantastic, and he is Arsenal's best player. But for this season, Gabriel's been so important. When Saliba got injured early on in this season, they had Mosquera that could come in. But this is totally different. I think Gabriel marshals that defence. He's such a key player. And not only this, where you're seeing with his defending, it's his set pieces where he's a threat. Where Declan Rice and Saka will pull it on the money, and he's just a threat. He loves defending. He loves getting involved in with centre forwards, and that's what he is. And this is obviously against Newcastle, where he scores the winning goal. Like Nick Pope can't come through him, and the way he leaps and gets up there, he's so key for that. This is a huge blow for Arsenal, a massive blow. In a big game, a massive game. To lose Gabriel, you can lose certain other players, and you can tell me, yeah, they've recruited well and their squad is good, but we'll see tomorrow if they can deal without Gabriel.
And before Dorse, we come on to see whether it's perhaps Mosquera, Hincapié who comes in for him in the North London derby. You know, Clinton rightly talks about the threat from set pieces and how good he is a defender, but he also has that presence, doesn't he, within this Arsenal side? And that, again, particularly in this game, is a big blow, isn't it, for the guys?
It's a huge blow for Arsenal, missing Gabriel. You see his goals, his clips. He loves defending, and there'll be moments in the game tomorrow in the North London derby that there might be backs against the walls. How do we stand strong? And I think he's your all-round defender that can do everything. He can calm. He's got players in front of him that he can play to. But I think he's... I look at the spine of Arsenal. I go David Raya, I go Gabriel, I go Declan Rice, and you go Gyökeres through. You've got great players in different areas, wide areas. But he is a massive miss. And who's it going to be? Is it going to be Mosquera, Hincapié, Calafiori? How's he going to be? Miles Squilly comes in. I think he is as big a miss as anyone on that pitch. We could talk about Saka.
Yeah.
Maduaki comes in, no problem. We talk about on the other side, Odegaard. Who's going to come in? We talk about the squad depth, but you cannot replace this desire in a North London derby to defend, to head in the box, to be brave, and you have to have all this in this North London derby. He's a massive miss, not just for tomorrow, but how long it's going to be in the title race.
Right, let's just expand things then on to the title race, because we shouldn't, of course, leave Chelsea out of the title race, because, as I said, if they do get this win against Burnley, they go 3 points behind Arsenal, will head into second. But at the moment, looking at the top two, Arsenal and Man City, and including, for the time being, the defending champions, Liverpool, in there, who have a pretty decent run to come. Forest today, West Ham away, and Sunderland, Leeds and Brighton. But for Arsenal, it's looking a tricky few weeks ahead, Tim. Yeah. Spurs at home tomorrow. Then it's Chelsea away. They got Aston Villa away, and Aston Villa in really, really good form as well. Yeah. And they face them again later on in the month at home, this time against Aston Villa. Yeah. For Man City, it looks, after today, and we know how good Newcastle United have been at home as opposed to away, games against Leeds United, who are struggling, and Fulham, who are struggling at the moment, and then that big game at home to high-flying Sunderland. In terms of the title race at the moment, how many teams realistically are in this race as things stand heading into game week 12?
Three of them, in my opinion. I think it's a massive, like I talked about this massive game tomorrow.
Which three? I'm assuming you're substituting Chelsea in for Liverpool?
These three. I don't think Chelsea are in it. I think, but I do think Chelsea will dent a few.
How do Liverpool make up 8 points, which is where it is at the moment?
They've done it before.
Because it's not just winning; it's those other two teams dropping points.
And it's integrating their top players in. I mean, after 6 games we give them the title, didn't we? You know, we should might as well just took it up to Liverpool and handed it over. Things change in the Premier League. They change around. I still believe if they win tomorrow, Arsenal, they'll win the Premier League, and then they'll win it for years and years to come. I believe it. They'll get over the line. I honestly believe this is such a huge football match. If they don't win tomorrow, I don't think they beat Chelsea. And then it's all change. I think Man City are right up their backside. I think it would be really, really
tough. That Merse
tough.
seat is getting to you, isn't it?
It'd be really, really
I mean, a massive claim. Winners for years to come if they get that win tomorrow.
I think all short of them is experience of actually getting over the line and doing it.
It's the mentality now, isn't it?
Doing it.
Yeah.
It has to be done. Look, I won the Premier League and none of our team had ever won it before. It was like, can you do it? Yeah, we didn't go and do it on again. But I think they got the capability of doing it. They're a young squad. They've got a good manager. They've built the process and they're ready to take it. But I think tomorrow is massive. It's not only 3 points, it's the emotion taking them into a very tough run of fixtures.
And from a City perspective, I mean, listen, in seasons gone by, as they found out on 2 of the last 3 occasions, it was Liverpool last season, the side you don't want on your shoulders is Manchester City. Yes, this is a different City, but it seems, Clinton, that in recent weeks he looks like he's getting his best 11 together. That point, it could be just a point come the end of today if they go to Newcastle and win. It's a big if with Newcastle's home form at the moment. But they're looking serious challenges again, aren't they?
Did you hear what Pep said? The season starts now.
Yeah.
So this shows me that Pep's got his mojo back on the touchline where they beat Liverpool. I looked at Pep Guardiola and he's got that, you know, that thing in his eye where you're looking and thinking, we're in it now and we've got a great chance this season. This will go right down to the wire. I agree with Tim. I don't think it's about tomorrow's game. I think it's the next 3 or 4 games because they do have Aston Villa in there and they have Chelsea. And obviously, they say Chelsea can't win it, but they can definitely cause an upset, and that is a London derby. And then Chelsea will be looking to go and beat Arsenal. But yeah, with Man City, they're definitely in it. And you know what it is with Arsenal? They haven't had the experience of winning the Premier League, this young team at the moment, the young players that they've got at the moment, where Man City have, and they've got a manager who's got so much experience. So this is going to go right down to the wire. At the moment, Arsenal are still favourites. But yeah, Man City are coming, and when you've got a manager like Pep Guardiola and the way he's talking at the moment, he believes in it as well. And never rule out Liverpool, because they can go 10 or 11 games unbeaten.
But, Dawes, final question on this. It's a massive if, and obviously from a City perspective, and just from a Premier League perspective, we don't want this to happen. But were Erling Haaland to pick up a reasonably long-term injury, can they remain in the title race?
Not for me. Without Erling Haaland, I think he's a phenomenal player. He's an absolute machine. He just seems to make them week in, week out. He misses chances, but not many of them. And I think for City to be in this race, it's down to him. You look at the goals he's scored already, the opportunities that people are creating for him. But I think we're just starting to see Manchester City find the feet. Players taking time, which we talked about early on in the show. Give players time, and we're starting certainly to see it. We saw it against Liverpool before the international break. I mean, they absolutely dominated that game. Players, Nico Gonzalez, where he came and we think he could be the new Rodri. So, yeah, they're right in the mix. The pressure's on Arsenal because people outside the club were all speaking so highly from them. And sometimes it's easier to chase. Manchester City will not mind chasing Arsenal down, and the pressure is, Tim, you said you won it. For this Arsenal team, they have to be able to deal with that pressure because they haven't got over that line. They haven't won it. Manchester City have done it for numerous years. I know this is a new Manchester City team, but they will not mind. They'll keep chugging them down and they'll keep chasing and putting the pressure on Arsenal.
Who do you want to win tomorrow, Dawes?
Only one team to win tomorrow, I hope.
Absolutely ridiculous question.
Go on, just because it's testing him.
Not the red team, Clinton.